This is Sue Bunch from Back to Back Fiber Products. Welcome to our little video today on how to needle felt a little pumpkin. This is a good project for beginners and advanced people alike. If you've been wanting to try needle felting, this is a nice little project for you. You start out with our core wool, and we just start rolling it up like this. Roll it up as tight as you can, and now and then tuck in the ends. The core wool works nice because it gives you a base, and it's a little less expensive than the colored wool that we use for the final coloring at the end of the project. So this just gives you a base to work on, and as you see, I'm just rolling it up, and then now and then I tuck in the edges to make it a little more of a round oval shape like a pumpkin. So after you get it all rolled up, then hold it in your hand here, then take your felting needle and then gently start punching it together. And you're just going to keep punching. Now, if you've never used a felting needle, you need to be very careful because they're really sharp. You'll find out. But just pay attention to what you're doing. And then just take your time. Just roll it around in your hand, roll it on the table. Keep punching and shaping. You'll see. It's very interesting to see how just using the needle can shape it. You can see here now, the more you punch, the denser it gets. And that's what you're looking for. So after you get your shape made and it gets all nice and dense, then you're going to start adding the color to it. So our colored roving now, I make it in these little balls just to make it easier to work with. And you just kind of fluff it out a little bit, and then you can wrap it around the core wool form that you've made. And just gently wrap it around just to add your color. And when you get around to the side, you can pull it off like that and kind of smooth it around and just keep adding the colors until you get it all covered. And just take your time. There's no rush about any of this. And it's fun to see, how it turns out. Just a little bit at a time. Pull off little pieces. Smooth it around, and then you can start needle felting it to hold it in place and add some more colors later. Then once it's all covered, then spend quite a bit of time working your needle, and the more you work, the denser it'll become and the smoother it'll become. And then as you work along here, you'll see it's fun to see how the form starts smoothing out. So just move it around in your hands and keep punching randomly wherever, and it will start pulling together and getting very dense and smooth. Now after you finish that, you want to put the little grooves that we see in pumpkins. And to do that part, you just take your needle, and wherever you want that groove to be, you start punching, and you'll see it starts pressing down deeper. And you can just move along and just take your time and punch along here, and then you can form the grooves wherever you want. You don't need to measure anything, just do it and it looks fine however you do it, if you want a few or a lot. Yeah, there it comes, and it looks pretty cute. Now the next thing we're going to do is to add the stem. So we're going to pick another color of roving that's kind of that stem color. And we unroll the little piece, and we're just going to use pieces that are maybe 3 to 4 inches long. So stretch out your roving and measure 3 to 4 inches, and then we're just going to, when you pull it apart, put your hands about 6 or 8 inches apart, because if you have your hands too close together, the roving won't pull apart. There you are. So let's take about 3 pieces and pile them up here together. And then we're going to fold it in half. Just like that, and then lay it down on your foam work surface. And that top half is the part we're going to punch and turn into the stem. So just punch down through into the foam and then turn it a little bit. So punch a little bit and then turn. Punch a little bit and then turn. See how I'm doing here? And the longer you punch, the denser it gets, and you can be shaping it into that stem shape. So, and then we're going to keep this part fluffy, because that's what's going to attach to the pumpkin. So just keep punching along like this, and eventually it'll look like this stem here, where you see it's a little bit more formed at the top. That's because I took quite a bit of time and it got really dense. Now we're going to take that and we're going to add it to the pumpkin. We just set it where we want it to go, and then we just gently needle felt it right into the base of the pumpkin. Now this pumpkin I haven't put the little grooves in yet, but you get the general idea of it. And it won't take you long to get the hang of it, and it's pretty easy and fun to do. And this makes a nice little project for learning and for decorating for the fall. Now the last part of this is to add a little bit of these curly locks. Some sheep have extra curly fiber, and this was an interesting piece to add. It gives a little texture, and you know how pumpkins have little curly vines, and so this kind of gives the idea of that on this project. So just pull off the little pieces of those curly locks and just gently tuck them in here, and your project is just about finished. So I hope you've had fun working on this little project, and would be glad to have you join us again for some other felting projects. Happy felting!